Good shot.
And that is the Chrysler building. That is real. Located not far from Grand Central. And a couple people might remember from the ending scene to the Avengers movie, or one of the ending scenes.
Beautiful.
I found out what Symkaria is. That's where Silver Sable lives. Silver Sable is from Symkaria. That was kind of cool. Alright, what else is in here? Ah, yes, this is what I was looking for. Grand Central Terminal. We're going to head over there before we, And this is a pretty good recreation of Grand Central, I'll be honest with you. Yeah, this is a very nice recreation of Grand Central.
Magnifique.
Some people might recognize this road as the final battle of the Avengers. No. No. I don't know what you're talking about. Back to the game. Okay. Back to the game. You say what? Let's move on. Let's look at some more landmarks. But yeah, Grand Central Station is located very close to the Chrysler Building in real life and geography as well. You might remember that from the Avengers ending. Basically, where Captain America tells Thor, "You got the lightning, light the bastards up." He goes on top of a building, uses a giant conductor for his lightning, and with Mjolnir's help and the building's help, he fries pretty much a lot of the major enemies that are coming through the portal. That building was the Chrysler Building. And that does exist in real life. And that's a comment that I wanted to make. I forgot to mention that when I was speaking earlier about the Fist Tower. A lot of people were referencing Fist Tower.
Masked up piece.
Let's go visit over here. Was that some people are thinking that because Fist Tower is being closed, you know, obviously since, you know, Wilson Fisk is in jail, that's not a spoiler, we saw him go to jail, he's still there. What's going to happen to Fist Tower?
Hey, an old-fashioned B&E. Gotta love the classic. Ever hear a knocking?
And the,
A thing of beauty.
some of the people have been talking recently that after they made the announcement that there's going to be something fantastic coming to the,
Okay, I think I'm gone.
coming to the game. Again, that's not a spoiler. They made that announcement, and that doesn't spoil the game, obviously. It's probably going to be added as a patch or as DLC. Yeah, since something fantastic is coming, a lot of people have been theorizing.
Pro tip, if you're not good at breaking or entering, maybe don't pull a B&E.
That they could add the Baxter Building to Spider-Man. Obviously, it's not currently a landmark. The Baxter Building does not exist in this game. If we could go through New York all we wanted to, in fact, actually, the Baxter Building in the comics and in real life would exist pretty much in the area that we're in right now. It's on 42nd Street and close to Grand Central Terminal in real life. Now, from what I've been told, obviously the Baxter Building is not here, but a lot of people were saying that if there was going to be a Baxter Building added to the game, which I think it should be, I would like to see the Baxter Building added to the game. I do think that the Baxter Building belongs in this game. It should go where Fist Tower is, and you could basically say, well, they bulldozed the building and then changed it. But that's where Fist Tower is, both in the comics and in the both in real life and in this game, is not where the Baxter Building is in real life or in comics or in the game. It's just not. Fist Tower is basically where Trump Tower is, or just about. So it doesn't make sense for me to bulldoze Fisk Tower to put the Baxter Building where it doesn't belong. Again, because Fisk Tower is located uptown. That's not where you put the Baxter Building. The Baxter Building belongs in Midtown.
I guess this is what they call organized crime.
So, I mean, I'm all for putting the Baxter Building in the game, but put it where it's supposed to go, basically. Okay. And those are my 2 cents. Darn it. I'll take care of those guys in a second. Huh? Did I get him? Yeah, I did.
Car tour of New York.
So yeah, put the Baxter Building where it belongs. The Baxter Building basically belongs somewhere. Let's see, hold on. That's the Flatiron Building. That's Madison Square Park. That's Empire State. That's Grand Central. It would belong somewhere around here. Now you can see here in real life that's where the MetLife Building is. Now here's the one thing. Here's the difference between the movies and the game and the comics. That's the real-life MetLife Building. It used to be the Pan Am Building. As you can see, it's here in the game. They had to change the name, but that's the building, basically. Quick comment, that's where Avengers Tower is in the game. I'm sorry, that's where Avengers Tower is in the movies, or originally Stark Tower. They CGI'd out that building and replaced it with Tony Stark's tower, which later became Avengers Tower. But in the game and in the comics, they moved it. This is where Avengers Tower is. So I understand, oh, you've got an excuse to not put everything where it belongs. But just give me the Baxter Building. If you're going to put the Baxter Building somewhere, put it where it belongs. Especially given the fact of, I remember, and this is true, this is really true. I'm not making this up. There were several interviews done during Spider-Man's game development. With the tools that they were using, it is, the developers at Insomniac admitted that it is pretty much trivial for them to replace and remove buildings in this game. It is very trivial. Adding something like the Baxter Building would not be difficult with the game's tools. They wouldn't have to change that much. They wouldn't have to work, you know, obviously they have to model the building, but removing what's there and putting in something else is not that difficult for them to do. Which is why early concepts of the game included the Freedom Tower in some of the videos, and the Freedom Tower does not appear in the final game. They had to remove it, but it wasn't difficult for them to do, basically. Honestly, I do think the Freedom Tower should be in the game, but that's just me. My guess is that they couldn't afford the rights to use it. I don't know why not. As far as I'm concerned, the people that are in charge of running that building, which is, as far as I remember, I think that's called, it's a quote-unquote private-public combination. What's it called? I'll have to look it up, but I'm sure somebody would remember it. It's like the New York, New Jersey. It's like combination New York, New Jersey, something or other. I can't remember.
The Williamsburg Bridge. A convenient route to someplace else I can't afford to live. Confucius Plaza. I could use some of his wisdom right about now.
What else is here? Oops. Sorry. Alright, I'll just leave me a couple more landmarks and let me ramble a little bit more about New York before we go to this, please, just give me that. What is here? Oh, Chinatown.
Mott Street, the main street of Chinatown. Touristy, but fun. Ooh, love that shot.
Manhattan Bridge, very nice. All the bridges in New York are amazing. Not my favorite bridge, not the bridge I wanted to talk about specifically. Yeah, that's the bridge I wanted to talk about specifically. Well, we'll talk about it later. Alright. Let's head back uptown. And let's do a mission. Again, I'm sorry about the performance issues. I don't know if it's because I'm streaming, and maybe it's a firmware thing, but other than the fact I'm getting a few frame rate drops, which again I could chalk up to streaming, what I was really concerned about was like crashes and like severe artifacting and stuff. So I haven't been getting any of that, so alright, let's do this. Oh, the shocker.
Hi, Herman.
Seriously?
This is what we want to check out. This is the scene you guys wanted to see.
Give it up! You're never gonna catch me!
That's what you said last time.
I don't want to hurt you! You'll just slow me down!
Wow, that's considerate.
Okay. Please allow me this one moment. One of my favorite lines from Spider-Man Homecoming, said by Michael Keaton. I'm the shocker, I'm the shocker, I shock people, I shock people, I'm the shocker. Okay, that is my only impression of Michael Keaton. You have now seen it, and you will never be done again. I had to do it because, obviously...
Herman, please talk to me so we can make it interesting.
I'm sorry about the freezing. I don't know why that's happening. I still think it might be Twitch, because again, I've had those kind of issues with Twitch.
Gotcha.
You know what I'll do? After this, I'll check the archives and I'll see what happens.
Noted.
I do get a kick out of the fact that we are going after this shocker. For one cool reason, like I said, I've played other Spider-Man games. One of my favorite games is Spider-Man, I will not do that impersonation. I have stories to tell about that line. It was ad-libbed. It was not in the original script. Michael Keaton said it. I think he said it because John Peters told him to say it, but that's not the line specifically that John Peters told him to say. So, now, John Peters is an idiot. He basically failed his way upwards. He does not deserve any of the recognition that he got. He simply, I still believe to this day that he got his position out of luck and nothing else. So he does not deserve any credit that he gets for anything. Oh, come on, I dodged that.
He's getting away.
Guess I was too busy insulting John Peters. Oh, gosh! That's on me. I'm sorry, guys. Controls were not responding as fast as I was hoping they would. And I had my angles wrong. I'm sorry about that. But yeah, his original line was he was going to say, close your ears if you're under the age of 13. I'm Batman, motherfucker. That was the line that he was told to say by John Peters. He did not say it, obviously, and the movie is certainly better for it.
Which means you're not just stealing for yourself.
Okay, why am I not going faster?
Or for someone. You can tell me who it is now, or make me punch it out of you later. Your choice.
Said enough.
Sorry for sucking through the scene. Yeah, that would have been horrible. You're absolutely right. Congratulations, you have more... Ah! Cheap shot. Congratulations, you have more brains than John Peters. That's not saying much, I admit, but...
You know what, Herman? You have like zero personality, but your suit is awesome. Can we talk design details? Maybe later.
You got him. And this to me is one of... I do like that moment. I know a lot of people... Only Sam Jackson can say that word. He should be able to say it at least once.
I tried, but he's not very talkative. Plus, I think he hates me.
You have that effect on a lot of people.
But you love me, right, Yuri?
I tolerate you.
Wow. That might be the nicest thing you've ever said to me.
Alright, let's XP level up.
Looks like I got some free time. Maybe now's a good time to look into that mask. Oh, it's MJ. Hey, MJ. You're up late?
Just catching up on the news. Looks like you had quite an adventure with Shocker tonight.
Yeah, he was unusually combative.
Let me just see if I can level up a little bit. I can't. Good. Also good. Trust me, those are very useful to have.
Anyway, thanks again for dinner. What do I owe you?
How about a favor? You still have
Let's...
that mask from the gallery?
Yeah. I'm actually on my way to the Feast Center now to ask Martin Lee about it.
Martin Lee? Why?
He has a degree in art history. If anyone knows about the origins of that mask, he will.
Just keep me in the loop. Like I said, I think there's a bigger story here, and I plan to be the one to break it.
Sure. So I can call you, like, whenever?
Yeah, whenever, whatever.
So I guess we're talking again. Cool.
Building of damage control. Damage control exists. It was first mentioned in Spider-Man Homecoming. It does exist in the comics. It is owned by Tony Stark, basically to clean up the mess that the Avengers left. And it was a major plot line of Spider-Man Homecoming. Basically, was the reason of the creation of the Vulture. Because Adrian Toomes was not compensated for all the money that he had invested, even though he had a signed contract with the city to clean up the damage. The investments that he had made were basically all for naught when Tony Stark came in and took that all away from him, basically citing some legal mumbo-jumbo bullshit. Basically, I have more money than you, so therefore I can write the laws, and all those investment dollars that you made is all for naught. Now, I do think that could have been solved based on one simple thing, and that is that Tony Stark was fully capable of compensating Toomes. Obviously, if Toomes had a contract with the city for salvage, one would assume that Tony Stark would know about it, given the fact of, oh, we're going to be doing salvage, check to see if the city has any existing contracts with anybody, or have legal check it at least, if Tony Stark couldn't do it personally. He does have lawyers that he pays a lot of money to. Oh, there is a guy currently with, a contract with the city that we are simply just taking from him, even though he legally has every right to do so, to exercise that ability.
We're still trapped.
Even though he has every right to. Oh, there it is. There. Oh, better compensate him in some way. Was Stark broke? If he had compensated Toomes at the beginning of the movie, there wouldn't have been a need for the Vulture.
Don't panic. I'm here.
Stark isn't broke.
Let's just let fire and rescue do their jobs.
Damage control is a lawful, well, not lawful, a tax write-off. Damage control is probably a tax write-off for him.
So great when you were like, and you just like, oh man, thanks.
There's nothing preventing him from compensating Toomes. Toomes would probably, if Toomes had gone to court, he could have won against Stark. I got a contract with the city. Now, it's assuming that, maybe Stark had fought him, that maybe Toomes had fought and lost.
All units, report of a break-in.
How do you stay rich? You don't do it by spending money. Yeah, ain't that the truth? Some of the cheapest people I've ever met in my entire life are the richest. I could make it a hoarding joke, a tax joke, or whatever it was, like an inverse or trickle down economics joke, but I just won't do that. Don't worry about it. Not that kind of conversation. Wasn't meaning to get political with you guys.
Goes away and suddenly it's amateur hour.
I mean, we can make fun of the rich. That's not political. You know, everybody makes fun of the rich. Cool. Cool one there. You don't even need to finish it. You're going bye-bye. You got caught by the building.
I bet you'll be as good at breaking out as you were at breaking in.
No, they don't fall to their deaths in this game. I swear that's true. What happens to them is that it's implied that Peter secretly somehow slipped like a web grenade to them that has some kind of altitude sensor, and that if they're falling either at a certain speed or a certain distance, that it automatically deploys to the closest wall and will stick them to the wall. And the implication is that he leaves a spider tracker on them so the police can pick them up later on.
Love it.
City Hall. Alright, there's some more thugs coming up. Let me go see if I can beat them up.
We reserve the right to refuse service and knock out any criminals. Says so right on the sign.
Oh, come on. Okay, if I can make a joke here, and I will. Somebody mentioned that, I think they said Lee has a doctorate in art history, or Lee's doctorate is in art history. So is Dr. Zoidberg's in real life. Those are you Futurama fans. Don't knock art history. That was certainly something I was never good at in college. I was good at plenty of other things in college, but art history was not one of them. Even though I do remember most of my art history, I was never able to actually score well on a test. I think it's because, you know, the tests were just so arbitrary. You had to remember, like, about 1 billion different details, about 1 billion different paintings and sculptures and things like that. Like, who commissioned this, or what is it, who made it, that sort of thing. Which is fine, I mean,
take it from here.
but when you test on that sort of thing, when it's random, yeah, you'll remember the useful ones, like Louis XV, you know, commissioned this, you know, that sort of thing, or, you know, this was sculpted by Michelangelo, or this was painted by Leonardo da Vinci. You'll remember that stuff, but when it comes to a test, that's not what they're going to test you on. They're going to test you on the obscure stuff that they might have said off the cuff.
All units advised.
So yeah, I was never good with art history.
Report came in from Little Italy.
I'll set my earpiece to focus on muffled voices.
Oh, here we go. I did not hear about that, but I was under the assumption that was going to happen.
You asked for it. And we're done.
Yeah, really disappointing about that, but can I be honest with you? I would be shocked if New Mutants even came out and the Phoenix movie ever even actually get released at all. Disney's basically rearranging the deck. They've got the rights. They've got 20th Century Fox. They've got the rights to not just all the comic book properties that they had gotten from Marvel and they were hoarding from Marvel. They also now have the rights back to all the original Star Wars movies, including the prequels. But they have the rights back to the Star Wars movies as well. And you just know, and Disney is very protective about the rights with that sort of stuff. They're going to be like, we're going to do everything on our own now. They've got that mentality because they're certainly big enough to do everything on their own now. That's a lot of people are assuming that they're going to reboot Daredevil. A lot of people are assuming that Luke Cage, Jessica Jones, all that stuff is going to get rebooted because they had shared rights with Netflix, and Netflix is going to retain the rights. So, yeah, the Phoenix movie's pretty much finished. They're basically just sitting on it. Same thing with New Mutants. They don't care if it's a loss. It's not their loss. 20th Century Fox doesn't exist anymore. At least it's not going to. Yeah, they don't care. When companies eat each other like this, that's one of the... They basically absorb the debt, yes, but... Unless it's debt to a debtor that they can't afford to pay, they don't care. And trust me, Disney can afford to pay their debts. You don't think any of the shows are going to come back? Iron Fist even got released was because they... What? I can't read the second half of that. Sorry, there's only so many characters that I can fit in the chat window at any given time. You'll have to resend the second half of that. I'm sorry, Revan. Oh, what do we got here? Oh, Federal Building. The Federal Hall.
Perfect.
That's the famous picture. That's the famous sculpture statue of George Washington. I remember because they were. Sorry. Got a bit of a leg cramp right now. Oh. Yeah, that's... sorry about that. Got a big... Sorry about the leg cramp, guys. Yeah, there's no... Yeah, and plus, by the way, Netflix retains broadcasting rights. They're not going to lose the broadcasting rights for any of those shows. So if you have a Netflix subscription and you're worried that you're going to lose access to Jessica Jones or that, and that Disney's going to get the rights to them exclusively, they're not. They can't. They're not going to. And the Disney would literally have to buy out those contracts, and I guarantee you Netflix wouldn't be interested in getting the money unless they were extremely desperate, which they're not. So, yeah. Jessica Jones and Luke Cage, at least those, which is why the theory is that it might be easier for Disney to reboot them because it works this way. Movies influence the TV series, but the TV series don't influence the movies at all. They're not even referenced in the movies. So you could get away with being fully versed in the Marvel movies without having to watch a single episode of Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. or Daredevil, because nothing in any of those shows affect the movies at all. Nor do any of the characters in them make any appearances. I don't know if a lot of people even know that Phil Coulson is still alive. We haven't seen him in any of the movies, in any of the recent ones, after his quote-unquote death in the first Avengers movie. Yes, he's going to make an appearance in Captain Marvel. That's not a spoiler. He is going to make an appearance. But it's going to be flashbacks. So people are not going to be like, hey, what's Coulson doing here? Oh, it's the 90s. He's not dead yet. They can make that excuse. Now, I don't know if they're going to change that policy for Infinity War, but I highly doubt they will. It would be cool if they did, because, it would be nice if some of the heroes that were in the Marvel series survived the snap.
Folks,
myself against the spurious claims from McDonald Mac Gargan, aka the Scorpion. Yes, as I fully disclosed, I bankrolled the experiment that gave him superior strength, speed, and that unsightly cyborg tail. The idea was to create an anti-Spider-Man who is not a threat and stops menaces. I had no idea he was crazy. Do you think his resume said psycho with a poisoning fetish? His lawsuit is a transparent attempt to reduce his sentence at the raft by placing the blame for his deeds on me. And that is one package J. Jonah Jameson refuses.
Okay. Let's open that can of worms. Yeah, by the way, there's also there's going to be a Loki show, there's going to be a Scarlet Witch and Vision show.
Don't forget to check in with
and it's going to be Disney
Plus
Plus exclusive. It seems like every Tom, Dick, and Harry studio right now thinks that they can basically create their own Netflix. Like they think Netflix was easy. It wasn't. It's not easy to do that kind of stuff, especially if you have no technical knowledge whatsoever. Yeah, you can throw a lot of money on it, and you can even hire a few competent people to do it, but people don't want to pay $10 a month for more than maybe about 2 or 3 different services. And Netflix already has their money. So, CBS learned this lesson the hard way. I do believe that CBS All Access is a failure. All signs are pointing to the fact that it will stay a failure, and that there is no redeeming it, because they have a shit lineup of shows. And maybe like 5 of them total, 5 shows total. The Brooklyn Bridge.
Photography.
Probably from what I've been told, this is the very first steel suspension bridge ever made. Period. There are no others. Now, quick comment about the Brooklyn Bridge. This is where Gwen Stacy died in the comics. I know a lot of people mention that it's the George Washington Bridge. I think in posterity, George Washington Bridge was listed in the original comic as well as in later comics. But this is the bridge that John Romita Sr. drew. That bridge. And I think it was, and I think that Stan Lee cited that's an error that he regrets. That he wrote George Washington Bridge in the script, and John Romita Sr. drew this one, not thinking that there's a visual difference between the George Washington Bridge and the Brooklyn Bridge. Just thought it was a nice looking bridge. Okay. Got 2 side missions here. Let me say we check one of them. Let's do a side mission. Oh, I've heard that Daredevil was the only good series. I have heard that Iron Fist got better in its 2nd season. Same for Luke Cage. I heard Jessica Jones was good the whole time, but I haven't seen Jessica Jones. I have a friend whose girlfriend. I don't know if I should refer to them as that because they were actually my friend before they became my friend's girlfriend. But I introduced them. But she's a huge Jessica Jones fan.
I need a minute! Look, I know you've been hacking into our crime system towers.
Wasn't me. I mean, what towers?
I don't mind. In fact, I need your help. I think someone's jamming the system, and they must be using multiple jammers to cover the full frequency range. Could you take a look? If you help, I promise I won't tell anyone you're hacking us.
I prefer to call it sharing, but sure. The jammers emit a signal I can detect. Just need to swing through the financial district and hunt for a signal.
Oh, so back to what I was saying about Wall Street before I got sidetracked. I have that problem. Sorry, I keep getting sidetracked about stuff. But yeah, when I visited Wall Street for the first time after a couple of years, I wanted to visit the Federal Hall because one of my favorite games of all time is Metal Gear Solid 2, Sons of Liberty, and the climax of that game takes place on top of the Federal Hall. And so there is a picture of me somewhere standing in front of the statue of George Washington laughing.
Shock face.
Because, of course, there is. It's me doing my impersonation of Solidus. Okay, so basically you're saying that the second seasons of some of these series were only good because the first were so bad the bar was like on the ground. Okay, that makes some sense. I haven't seen it, so I can't comment. I do know that the actor behind it was like really
Someone said, there he is!
Yeah, I did not mean to do that.
You're in timeout.
Who's there? I got Spider-Man! Get out of the way!
Oh,
Gotta take out the jamming device.
sorry if I'm making you
Throw
dizzy.
that to leave the jammer where it is.
Alright. Ah, I'm trying to climb this thing. Okay. Let's use this. Let's do that. There we go. There's one jammer.
Workmanship.
Oh, that looks like another jammer over there.
I just took out a jamming device. That do anything?
No, but like I said, there's probably a bunch of them.
Makes sense. I'll track him down. I wonder if Fisk's men had anything to do with the system going down in the first place.
Well, Fisk's men aren't exactly very technically apt, if you know what I mean. I mean, they never patched their kernel when the game first started, if you remember. Spider-Man was able to hack their system very quickly and easily.
Aw, they had a jamming party and didn't invite me.
Who's there?
Surprise!
Who's there? Anybody hear this?
Someone needs a nap.
Help! Spider-Man's here!
Gloves off! Never touches the ground. Just need to get rid
Let's
of the
hear
jammer.
that.
Sometimes breaking stuff is the answer. And it's fun, too.
Alright, there's the last jammer. And by the way, cell phone jammers are a thing. I believe they're illegal.
It's garbled, but I picked up something about Fisk and outfit.
People
Fisk
don't
was
care.
the kingpin of crime, but he didn't deal in knockoff fashion. The sooner the system is fixed, the sooner we know what they're planning. Only one
By the
jammer
way, though,
left.
I did love John Rhys Davies' performance as the Kingpin. He's one of my favorite. I know that most people have basically argued that there is no one better than
Found you.
the Daredevil version of Kingpin.
You're done.
I will not disagree with that. That's because the actor playing Fisk in Daredevil is probably is Vincent D'Onofrio, one of the best actors of all time. And he has been one of my favorite actors of all time ever since I saw one of my favorite movies, The 13th Floor, which he did with Craig Bierko. And it's one of my favorite movies of all time, and he's in it. And of course he goes psycho in it, which is awesome, as does Craig Bierko. Because if you get a movie with Vincent D'Onofrio and Craig Bierko, damn it, you make them go
That's the
psycho.
last of 'em. The system should be back online.
You make them go psycho.
Spider-Man, the crime system's working again.
Great. Any more info on Fisk's men or those outfits?
No, but the system's reporting unauthorized activity down by the docks. I'm sending coordinates now.
I'll check it out. Gotta get to the docks before they escape.
Be a little picturesque for you guys. Alright, let's go to the docks. But yeah, D'Onofrio is like one of my favorite actors of all time because of the 13th Floor. If you've never seen the 13th Floor, I recommend seeing it at least once if you're any fan of science fiction at all. Most people at the time gave it a bad rap because they felt it was like a cheap cash-in of The Matrix. I think it was different than that. I felt that yes, the movies were similar in a lot of ways, but there's just so much that you could do with Cyberpunk. It was unfortunate that the movies came out at around the same time. I felt it was a disservice to both films, basically.
You're just not very observant.
It's one thing you can never make bad guys do in a movie or in a video game. Look up. Now remember your guard training, guys. Walk in a predictable circle every single time without deviating at all. If you have to nod off, that is okay. Don't worry about it. Just take a small nap. That's fine.
Spider-Man's here.
Someone's in... Oh, sorry. Did I startle you?
What's that?
Yes, gentlemen, remember your guard training. Where are the bad guys? There.
Got webs here. Spider-Man nearby. If I was you, I wouldn't want to fight me either. I know I...
Let's play the quiet game.
Got him.
Now maybe I can figure out what's going on.
What do we got here? Guns, looks like.
Guns, prison guard uniforms, and spoofed ID cards. They were planning to bust Fisk out of the raft. Sorry to spoil your prison break, guys. Okay, now I'm just showing off.
Thin out their numbers. Got him. I'm good. I'm good. I'm good. I'm Spider-Man. I'm the one and only Spider-Man.
Let's have it from here.
Everything's clear on my end, too. Thanks for restoring the system, Spider-Man. I won't tell anyone you're piggybacking on it, but if you get caught, you're on your own.
I have no idea what you're talking about. Now, if you'll excuse me, I have to delete my selfies from the crime system servers.
That's it? Alright, moving on. I don't really want to do any fist stuff right now. I'll do that another time. I kind of do want to play these, what do you call it, for experience, and I do want to grab this stuff. So, what we're gonna do is, I'm going on about 2 hours right now. That's enough time for me to kind of clear up this area and maybe do the side mission, but this was only meant to be like a stream, and I'm going with 2 hours, and Revan, I love you. I'm so happy that you're here at the stream, but I have to archive these videos, and if they go over 2 hours, it gets a lot tougher to archive because there's a lot bigger files I gotta deal with, and uploading them takes longer, and stuff like that. Yeah, I can cut them up, and I probably will cut this one up, but this was only meant to be a test, and it was a successful test, certainly, so I'm happy about that, at least. So, a successful test. So, let's just grab some of this stuff over here, set up everything, and maybe do the side mission, and then we'll call it. Because I'm going to get my butt kicked if I'm not doing more. Because I am much lower level than I thought I was. Like, look at my level stats right now. I'm at level 12, that's nothing. Friends, as a friend. I love you as a friend. You can tell a friend you love them. Alright, let's clear up this last area and get the last of these little side things over here. Couple of landmarks to go. Couple of backpacks. And if I get all the backpacks, and I think these are the last of the backpacks, then I unlock something that I kind of want to use. So, let's see if we can get all these backpacks over here. Hopefully I didn't miss any in the other areas. I don't think I did. So, Revan, oh, sorry.
Folks,
Just
you've heard me
effects.
express grave concerns about the risk to civil liberties posed by the police department's crime system and their omnipresent towers. But at least the intention is to stop crimes. Now, recently, Spider-Man has been seen tampering with these very towers. And it's reasonable that my loyal listeners suspect he is disabling the towers so he can commit his unlawful misdeeds with impunity. But Spider-Man is not your ordinary run-of-the-mill menace. Oh, he's a 12th level Kung Fu master, 50 moves ahead menace, which is why I think he's actually hacking into these towers to spy on you and me. Your only defense? Listen to my show. All the time. If he's gonna spy on us, let him hear that we're on to him by listening to me every waking moment.
Madison Square Garden. One of the most groundbreaking architectural creations of its time.
And that's that. Every crime tower in the city's now repaired.
Pretty good work, right?
Pretty good, yeah.
Good enough that maybe you'd let a certain someone celebrate with us?
Fine, but make it quick.
The odds were long, the danger close. But between Spider Cop's reckless intuition and the Chief's determined planning, they got the job done.
Aw, that's kinda sweet.
A pairing of opposites, like peanut butter and chocolate, or breakfast for dinner. The two work together.
And we're done. Talk to you later, Spider Cop.
She's coming around, right? Yeah, definitely.
They're married in real life. His actor and her actor and that actress, they're married in real life. I get a kick out of that sometimes when I see because that happens all the time in stuff.
Report came in from Clinton. Over.
Maybe Spider Cop is needed over here. Yeah, it's actually more common than you think where somebody's acting opposite their wife or husband.
Looks like
You
we
shipped
got the
them.
doorbuster. And it's not even Black Friday.
Can I be honest with you? I think Yuri actually ships himself. I really did. You can totally ship them. They're buried. Yeah, no, true story. I don't know if you ever seen have you ever seen the original RoboCop movie? Like the very original one, starring Peter Weller.
Look at it this way. If I'd actually let you break in, you'd be going away for a lot longer.
Sweet. Okay. Yeah, if you've ever seen RoboCop, for example, with the original one with Peter Weller, and there's a scene midway through the movie where the bad guy, not Dick Jones, the Clarence Bodiger, I think it was the character's name. The guy was played by the dad from That 70s Show. So Clarence goes in to go see Dick Jones halfway through the movie because they're working together. Spoilers. And he tells Dick that he announces his presence to Dick, basically saying that he's there by telling Dick Jones' secretary. And he basically so he comes in and he hits on her like really slimily, like, because he's a bad guy and he's a slime bag, and she rejects him, rightfully so. And then the movie moves on. He does something gross by basically leaving his chewing gum on her desk plaque, showing that he is a jerk. And that's the scene. But from what I was told from the IMDb, that scene between Clarence Boddicker and Dick Jones' secretary, where Clarence hits on the secretary and she rejects him and treats him like he's a slime bag, which he is, was actually played by a guy and his wife. I'm not 100% certain about that. I'm only because, again, this is the IMDb that said that was his wife. But the IMDb usually is pretty accurate about that sort of thing, and I thought that was kind of funny. So, one that I am certain about is, I don't know if you've ever seen Mystery Science Theater 3000. One of the best episodes of Mystery Science Theater 3000 is the episode where they watch the movie Space Mutiny, starring Reb Brown. Oh, there's one more. Oh, it's over here.
I think that debris is trapping someone inside that car. Don't panic, I'm here.
The plotline of the episode, not the movie itself, but the plotline of the episode is that they're all basically being held. The Mads are being held captive over ancient Egypt or something.
Okay, my boy.
Not ancient Egypt, ancient Rome, and they're trying to get out. They're trying to break out. And so they call Mike down to basically cause a distraction, because the person that's holding them captive and torturing them is Flavia, is a woman named Flavia. And so they say, Mike, we just need a couple of maybe like a couple of seconds. Basically, can you hold the distraction? He's like, well, not my repertoire, but I could probably buy you about 30 to 45 seconds or so. And they say, great, that's all we need. And so Flavia shows up, and Mike Nelson starts hitting on her, and she is completely rejecting him the entire time. And of course, the gag there is of course that that is actually the actress playing Flavia is of course Michael J. Nelson's actual real wife, still to this day. And if I ever got to meet Michael J. Nelson, I would ask him, so was that the first time your wife ever rejected you, or?
Except ones I think are worthy of further discussion, like this one. I've heard reports of Spider-Man hovering around radio towers. First, I thought he was sabotaging them, but a far more alarming possibility came to mind. In his misguided delusion that he is protecting us, is he hacking into all our conversations? Business deals, credit card transactions, those personal calls with the wife when you're on a long, lonely book tour. I mean, when one is on a book tour, I wasn't talking about myself. I don't do that sort of thing, and anyone who thinks they have recordings of me doing it is wrong.
Oh, J. Jonah. Alright, let's grab this last backpack token and unlock what I want to unlock here. And then I'll grab those last two landmarks. Other references I can think of off the top of my head, if you guys remember me streaming the game Detroit Become Human, there are two, obviously, guys who remember the Connor Army, guys who are fans of the Connor Army or are part of the Connor Army. Remember the actor playing Connor, Brian Descartes, I believe is how you pronounce his name. And that's it. And I've unlocked the final. I got all the backpacks. Got all the backpack tokens. I have now unlocked the final thing. Let's use it. Let's throw it on. Spider-Man Homecoming Homemade suit. Only way to unlock that in the game is basically collecting all the backpacks. That's it. That's how it's done.
Love that
Alias
show.
Investigations. In Hell's Kitchen. Fans of Jessica Jones will recognize that.
Profile pic. Regard from the kingpin.
Love it.
And that's Josie's Bar. Fans of Daredevil, the TV series, will recognize them. Alright. We're good here. Let's play Spider-Man PI and see what happens. Do I have enough? Hold on 3 seconds. I just want to... I know I'm going through the menus and everything. I'm probably making you guys dizzy. Let's see what we got here. No. I'm going to need that. No. Okay, that I do want. Good. Not my best work, but it'll do. Can I unlock any further suits? No research tokens, no base tokens. Because I haven't, I mean, I haven't played the bases, so I can't obviously make a reference there, but
Sorry, no access.
I definitely haven't unlocked research stations yet in the game, so we can't visit research stations, unfortunately, and I can't get research tokens yet. I will be able to get research tokens, but not right now in the story. So maybe I am unlocking faster than I thought I should, than I should be. We'll see. So, Revan, what do you want to see me play? Spider-Man PI? I could resume streaming tomorrow. I could pick back up on streaming tomorrow and play the storyline. But I kind of want to play Spider-Man PI right now and see what happens. Don't remember this side mission.
Spider-Man, I need help.
No, actually, maybe I have.
Are you okay, ma'am?
Carmen, and I'm fine. It's my husband, Rodrigo. He's been acting weird, and I just found out he's meeting this woman.
Well, listen, I'm not the best person to help with relationship problems.
It's not like that. I think she's involved with bad people. Rodrigo might be in real trouble. He's scared, but he won't tell me anything.
I can check it out. Any idea when he's meeting her next?
Tonight, by the detox center in Greenwich.
Okay. Don't worry, Carmen. I'll find out what's going on.
Alright.
Detox center's not far. Carmen just sent me Rodrigo's picture.
Okay, I do remember this mission. I didn't remember it was called Spider-Man PI, but I do remember this mission.
That's Rodrigo.
There's Rodrigo.
He's really nervous. That woman doesn't seem like a girlfriend. I'll get a photo and see if Carmen recognizes her.
You better not hold anything back.
Why would I?
That angle.
If that
Need to
picture
get it
gets
straight
through,
on.
my life's over.
Give me the plans and it won't.
Nice, clear image.
Very nice.
I like her hair.
Looks good. Remember, tell anyone about this, and I leak the photo.
Plans. This sounds bigger than I thought. I better follow the blackmailer and find out how big. Carmen, I'm uploading a photo to you. Does this woman look familiar?
No, I've never seen her. What were they talking about?
Sounds like she's blackmailing him. She mentioned something about plans.
My husband works security at a casino in Atlantic City.
She could be planning a heist, but I'll need more evidence before I can do anything.
Let me know if I can help.
All right. I'm gonna see where she's taking the plans. I'll be in touch.
Yeah, this game really needs another patch. I know they were doing certain things. They've been adjusting performance versus,
A victim or an accomplice? I need a photo.
you know, graphic pop-in and stuff like that, but they haven't. I think at one point they might have hit the perfect spot, and then unfortunately I think they lost it.
Took you long enough. Get it?
Just what I needed.
As soon as he saw the photo, he fell in line.
Regal always was a sucker. Boss will be happy. Let's see the plans. That's what I'm talking about.
Nice.
Gotta catch my train. Don't want to keep the boss waiting. That's gonna be our biggest score yet.
Hell yeah.
Sorry, I'm not centered
How
right
many
now.
people are in on this?
I got a leg cramp.
I've got to follow him.
Surprised you didn't see me.
Where's he getting off? Tapping into the train system should help me follow the train's path.
All right, there's the train. He's taking a
Carmen,
subway.
The blackmailer met some guy under the High Line. Sounded like you knew your husband. I'm sending you the photo.
That's Deshaun, Rodrigo's best friend from college. He went to prison years ago on a robbery charge.
Casino plans and a criminal record. Not a great combination. I need to find out who else is in on it.
If they're hitting the casino, they'll need at least a wheelman and a safecracker.
How does she know that? Oh.
Sounds like it. I'll let you know what I find out. End of the line. I should head over near the subway exit and wait for him to get out.
All right, here's the subway entrance. There he is.
He's heading for that office building.
You know, if this was a Spider-Man movie or like an M. Night Shyamalan, it would be that plot twist. But actually, some of you gamer fans may, because I know who's going to rob the casino, and some of you gamer fans actually may recognize these guys. So I'll say it after.
Got the plans, boss.
Good. Review the schedule on the monitor. I put our hires on the whiteboard. Mark their positions on the map.
Hired. You tried? He's practically a kid.
My brother. Can't trust him. Anyway, it's done. He's already picking up the scene. All right. Roman's ready and we are running late. Let's roll.
They're on the move.
Roman and Nico. GTA. These are the guys from GTA. We're gonna take down the guys from GTA. They're planning the casino heist. Now I know what you're thinking. That is, yep, actually GTA. GTA. Grand Theft Auto. He made it, Roman kick his ass. All right, you got it. Get here. There you go, Roman. That hurt enough?
I love it when a plan falls apart. Hey, Carmen. Your husband's pal and his team just had their trip to beautiful Atlantic City canceled.
Thank you. I spoke to Rodrigo. That blackmail photo shows him driving the night Deshawn committed the robbery. But Rodrigo didn't know about it. He was just picking up his friend.
I've got a contact on the force. She'll help Rodrigo, especially if he'll agree to testify about the blackmail.
He will. Or I'll show him he needs to be a lot more afraid of me than Deshawn. Thanks, Spider-Man.
That's it. That's the mission. Level up. Yeah, definitely need that. Can I upgrade my suit? Hey, cousin, want to go bowling? Sorry, but not now, Roman. I'm busy making your life better so you can throw it away. Hey, this is the woman I'm going to marry someday. Let's go to the fun park. You're wearing the same clothes you've been wearing for the last 2 days. That's an interesting choice. Alright, one more mission. Let's go to Feast. Got everything else taken up, might as well. You know, a lot of people have been talking about this game and that they prefer cinema. Seriously, that does not look like a cinema. Okay, no cinema I've ever been to has ever looked like this. Not even an IMAX cinema. So, did you hear about the fantastic news, quote unquote? We don't know what it is, at least not as of the time of this being recorded. Basically, Marvel is welcoming the Fantastic Four back into the Marvel family, even though they never technically left in the first place. It was just jealousy over the fact that they didn't have the movie rights. But now that they have the movie rights, now it's like, oh, we love the Fantastic Four. The Fantastic Four are back. Great, love it, wonderful, great, wonderful. But yeah, there was nothing stopping them from doing anything Fantastic Four related, other than movies, of course. And yes, that recent Fantastic Four movie was a piece of garbage. Josh Trank can't direct himself out of a paper bag. Although my father liked Chronicle, I do not think Josh Trank was responsible for Chronicle being good at all. I think that was solely the writer's doing. Feast. Alright, here we are.
Almost morning. Mr. Lee will be here soon.
Yeah, we've been up all night. Oh, something's happening. Loading screen. Oh, time passing, okay. They gave him a bagel, nice. Yeah, no, Fantastic Four is coming. We don't know what. But they basically said that all the restrictions that they put on the Fantastic Four when it came to their games are now being lifted. That includes this game. Although they wouldn't go into specifics about what was coming, they did say something is coming and that it's fantastic. A lot of people have assumed at this point that it means the bombastic Bagman could be added as a downloadable costume, or even the Future Foundation costume can be added as a downloadable costume. However, I'd like to see the Baxter Building added. Stop in on these two guys right here.
You guys holding up all right?
This moron thinks I'm going to move in with my daughter.
Hey, that'd be great.
She hasn't asked, but she's not gonna. I'm not going anywhere.
You don't know that. Nobody does.
Well, I'm not going anywhere. That's a promise.
All you ever see in these guys, they're always playing chess. But that having been said, they always have story to tell, or that things are moving on, but you always see them playing chess. It doesn't matter when you go in, day, night, whatever. It's always the two of them playing chess. I don't see... You are not Aunt May. You're going back to Sony.
I wouldn't fight crime, I'll tell you that. I'd be a TV star.
I'd be a pro wrestler. Best gimmick ever.
Yeah, unfortunately, there's been a side effect of the fact that Venom and Into the Spider-Verse... Now, I haven't talked about Into the Spider-Verse during this stream at all, but there is an unfortunate side effect of the fact that Venom and Into the Spider-Verse did well financially, and even partially critically. And that is that there's no incentive anymore for Sony to be giving up the Spider-Man movie rights to Marvel, even though it's been Marvel that actually put them back on the map. They were only contracted for 2 films.
What can I do for you?
It is very likely they could yank it.
I have a friend, Mary Jane. She's a reporter. She's doing a story on art imports, and she found this piece. She wanted an expert opinion on it, and I know you have a degree.
And this might be the first time I actually get to use it. And see what you have. Interesting. Where did she find it?
I'm really not sure. What is it?
Replica of an antique Chinese opera mask. I haven't seen one in years.
It is beautiful.
This symbol here roughly translates to demon.
Demon?
My father read me ghost stories with that mask and symbol in it when I was young. Scared the hell out of me.
I thought the Chinese were against ghosts.
That mask, it could be connected to dangerous people. Mary Jane might want to find a different story.
Do you think she's in trouble?
I don't know. Why take the risk?
Quick comment about Chinese culture. I know I said it during the game and I shouldn't have...
Hey.
Oh.
The symbol inside the mask means demon. It really spooked Mr. Lee. Never seen him like that. He even said you should drop the story.
Fat chance. Do you think Mr. Lee knows more than he's letting on?
No, I think he just had a weird flashback or something. I know his childhood was pretty traumatic.
Yeah, makes sense. Demons, huh? Catchy name. Okay, gotta get writing. See you soon.
Well, that went about as well as I could have hoped.
I could patch these shoes. They'll last a while yet.
I don't see Aunt May. She's usually in here.
Looks like May's not in yet.
May's recommendation really helped.
People know that when she says something, she means it.
That's good. I wonder if that homeless lady I saved earlier is in here.
Hey,
Don't see her.
how's all the science stuff?
Peter, how are you?
Donations.
Hey, good to see you.
You too.
Pretty sure these are the game's developers.
Coffee's terrible, but it's free.
But yeah, as far as I knew, Chinese don't really believe in ghost stories. Like, it's not something that's in their culture, as far as I knew. At least not ghosts in the traditional sense as we think of ghosts. That's part of the reason why Ghostbusters never worked over there. They wouldn't allow it because the Chinese government is like, what are ghosts? You know, we don't believe in ghosts. It's like, ghost busting? What is that? So,
got some time to kill before Doc needs me at the lab. Let's do a little Spidey workout in the city.
And I got some free XP for that one. It wasn't a tough mission. Side mission unlocked. What do we got? What do we got? Side missions. Side missions. I like side missions. Where are you, side mission? There you are. And also, there's always the Kingpin stuff. Yeah, let's take out some Kingpin stuff. I want to get into a fight. Kingpin stuff aren't that hard. What do you think of my outfit? You like it? Yeah, I don't have any base tokens. I really could use them right now, so I might as well go beat up a base.
Peter, Mr. Lee spoke to me. He seemed worried. Are you into something dangerous?
Oh, it's just a story Mary Jane's investigating. Don't worry. I'll make sure she's careful.
Please tell me you two are back together.
We're talking again. Baby steps. I hope I didn't upset Mr. Lee.
He's just concerned. I was actually touched by how concerned. I knew he liked you. He admires how dedicated you are to helping others. I think you remind him of himself when he was younger. Both orphans, both so smart.
Well, the admiration's mutual. You've got a good boss, May.
I'll tell him you said so. Love you, Peter.
Hello?
Peter, it's Dr.
Yuri, I found a Fisk construction site. Lots of busy worker bees up to no good.
Try to make some noise. If someone calls in a disturbance, I can send cars.
Noisy? I can do noisy.
Times like this are when you find out who your friends are. The boss has a long memory for that kind of stuff. How long have you been with him? Since the old days. Man, even before the boss was the boss. Always the boss.
Alright, that's 3 down. One major objective done. Alright, let's do this. That's a good spot. That takes 2 of them out.
Hey, Vince. Kinda quiet over there. You good? Crap. Vince isn't responding. Check his post. I'm on it.
I saw something. I got Spider-Man.
Yeah, there's one.
Yo, there he is! Don't mess with him! Don't let him get you airborne!
Alright, I'm gonna be screwing around here a little bit, I'm sorry.
Spider!
And that's 4. Come on, last guy.
For a guy in jail, Fisk's men are awfully loyal.
All I want to do is knock you off this building to your death. You'll be fine. Darn it. That did it. Alright, I got everything set. Perfect. Now I can just basically take care of everybody. Perfect.
Get that now!
You understand what private property means?
Hey, new arrivals! Did I mention this is a rent party? Chip in. No, for real, I need rent money.
Spider-Man, I just checked. There's been a rash of counterfeit bills in that neighborhood.
Counterfeiting? That's a dying art. I'll do my part to make it extinct.
I'm in an ass kicking. Down already.
You asked for it! Like fished bad haircuts, excessive cologne? Yep, more fist goons.
Can't let him beat us. Got a present for you.
More backup? Guys, Willie said to take the day off. Scout's honor!
I can't punch him if he's in the air. How was he beating us?
We almost done soon.
Fire in the hole.
Got him. Done. And I got the 3 tokens for it. Perfect. Textbook. Textbook. Textbook.
Everything's quiet here now, Captain.
Great. That's one more revenue stream Wilson Fisk can't use to pay his lawyers.
Textbook.
Hello?
Peter, it's Dr. Octavius.
Oh, hey, what's up?
Lance Corporal Texador is here for a fitting.
I totally forgot. I didn't forget. I just, I'll be there soon.
His tardiness is starting to become a pattern. Come on, Parker. You're better than this.
He's right. How did I lose track of time?
Okay, I'm going to say this right now. We were having a discussion about Peter and Otto Octavius' relationship in the last stream, and it's been basically 3 or 4 months since the last time that I've done this stream. I did that stream, and my opinion on Spider-Man and Otto Octavius' relationship at that time has changed now. And I have since then played the game at least twice more. So like this is kind of like my 3rd or 4th playthrough of the game. But yeah, my opinion has changed. But I'll talk more about that later.
I've always been about the truth. When I was a reporter and a newspaper publisher, I printed the truth. And now as a broadcaster, I speak it. Sometimes it hurts. But it's my responsibility to bring it to you. And the truth is, the city is not quiet. It is not peaceful. It is a disaster waiting to happen. Threats roiling under the surface like a hungry shark just beneath the water. Don't let Spider-Man fool you. You are not safe. None of us are.
That's great. Scurry, live in fear, free. The problem with that is that if you can get people to be afraid, they'll consume. That's the oldest story in the book. We learned that over a decade ago. But the problem is that people can only maintain fear levels for so long. I know that sounds odd, And some people obviously will take less time to be afraid than others. I mean, other people are not afraid, much sooner than other people are afraid, But I think that people aren't afraid en masse anymore because that card's been played so many times. People just, at this point, it's just like static. And that's dangerous. Because there can be actual legitimate things that people should be afraid of. But if you've cried wolf too much, people just don't care anymore. People won't take the necessary precautions that they would normally take if you were saying be afraid at, under legitimate threats, only when legitimate threats were happening.
Just like a natural arm. You think of what you want it to do, and...
Yes. Hey, what do you think you're doing?
This site's been declared a safety hazard.
Stop that right now! This is highly sensitive equipment. That's it. I'm calling the mayor's office directly.
Peter Parker, how the hell are you?
Speak of the devil.
And he appears.
Oh, please. How long have we known each other? It's Mr. Mayor.
It's Norman.
Norman, what do you think you're doing?
The grant agreement you signed has strict safety provisions. This isn't your first violation.
Those were excused.
By me. We should have confiscated this equipment long ago.
But I've had a breakthrough.
Thank you for your great service to our country. These folks will escort you to Oscorp Robotics, where you'll receive the latest in prosthetics. No charge.
This isn't about safety infractions, is it?
I'm trying to help you, Otto. You're free to continue your work in a secure environment.
At Oscorp.
You always were the smartest guy in the room.
You haven't changed a bit.
Neither of you. Hey, Peter. Harry will be coming back from Europe early next year. Maybe the two of you can start that business you always talked about. This is opportunity knocking.
Easy. They didn't take everything. Maybe we could start over.
Peter, there's no we. Without the grant from the city, I can no longer pay you. I need some time to think. If I were you, I'd look for a new job.
And I think that's a good place to end. Yeah, I think that's a good place to end. We'll come back tomorrow, and we'll pick up where we left off. Right where we left off. I'll try my best to get this archived as soon as possible, but this is a 2.5-hour stream. It's going to take a while for me to archive and put up on YouTube. Same time. We'll try for the same time.
Doc. Maybe call Harry. Ask him to talk to his dad. No. Norman never listens to Harry. Even tried to kill funding for his research stations. Hey, one of those stations is nearby. Should see how they're doing while Harry's in Europe.
And that is a good time to stop.
Doc. I'll think of something.
Okay, hopefully I'll get a splash screen. That's what I want. Loading. There we go. That's what I wanted to see. Okay, good. Well, we're back at the main screen, and thank you, Revan, for coming in. I appreciate it so much. I'm sorry it was crashing on you. I'll have to check the stream and see what's going on there. I don't think it was on my end. I do think it was on Twitch's end. Hopefully that's okay. If it is on my end, then that can be an issue because there can be a problem with archiving. But I'll check the archive and see what's going on. It's going to take a while, obviously, because the stream is as long as it is. But hopefully we'll be back tomorrow and back up and running, and we'll check out those research stations. So again, take care. Thank you guys for watching. My name is Maniac with GameAccess.net. Take care.